Having been both in the local currency movement and in the sovereign money movement gives me a broader perspective on the nature of money and the ways we can change it to improve it. I think it's very interesting for many other people to know both movements at the same time. For the sovereign money literates, the local currency movement puts forward many examples of different forms of money, and you can see how money at the end is in our hands, how we create it and the rules that govern it as well. And there are examples of currencies, local currencies that are created out of debt, but also there are currencies that are not and are backed just by the trust in the community that can offer goods and services in exchange of it. So this diversity is very enriching for all those that want to understand better money and know many of the possibilities that it offers us. And for the local movement, local currency movements, I think it's also very interesting to see how we can change also our official money in order to have a less need of different kinds of money. I know many of them may think that it's not a doable thing, that the state is already too corrupt and it's going to be impossible to create a official money that goes against the interests of the powerful. But some of us think it's possible. If you consider this possibility, then there is a lot of room for improvement on how money is created. Especially if you think about money not being created out of debt and being created by the state, debt-free, then many of the things that we want to achieve with local currencies can also be achieved in a more direct way, actually. So both ideas, both movements have a lot of ideas to share with each other and to complement themselves. For example, a very interesting point that I see is that official money shouldn't be programmable. I think it's very important that if we have a public form of money that everybody has to use to pay taxes and so on, it shouldn't have constraints to its use. I mean, it shouldn't be allowed for the government to try to control how we use our money by putting demurrage on the currency or amount limit on the amounts that we can have, or for example just allowing for certain uses of it. But instead, the local currency movement, as a volunteer diversity of currencies, everybody can choose which one to use and which one not to use. It makes it possible for these kinds of programmable money. That is, for example, having a currency that can only be used for vegan products, or maybe a currency that can only be used in a certain region, or that has a demurrage, that is, it loses value over time, encouraging using it instead of hoarding it. The different ways that it can be created are very useful for trying new things. For example, it could be created to be gifted to volunteers in social and ecological activities, as we do in our local currency here in Galicia. So as you can see, there are many things that can be useful to be in touch with for both movements. And as I see the future, I think we should have a better official money that is not created out of debt by the banks. But also, I think it has to allow for these other ways of money that are not imposed on anybody, that are meant to increase the use of the currency locally and to for many different goals that are complement to those that sovereign money wants to achieve. So I hope that you also have I sparkled you some interests on both these topics, and I hope that in the future we can have more spaces for exchanging perspectives from both movements. Thank you a lot for your attention, and see you in another video. Bye bye.